I've been to Agne. There you are, number one. Always there first. Hi, Joe. How are we? How is everybody today? Sarah D, 20, infectious singer, 24 others. Holt, Amp Dexter, Marianne Better Life. I like that. I like that name, Marianne Better Life. That's great. Nancy Marie, 57. Hi, how are we? Shaz, a man, 48 others. I wish I could see everybody's faces. I'm starving for companionship and community and people. I wish I could see everybody's face. Shazam, number one, and 48 others. Timmy, Irish girl, thank you. God came to my grave. That's a good one. Barbara Cunningham, SH, Joe, hi, you look lovely, thank you. Stacy Parkhurst, hello, beautiful. Hi, Stacy, that's sweet of you. Chris, 2824, I laughed when Hoda tried to hook you up with Lenny Kravitz. I was mortified, okay? I saw that, mortified, okay? Good friends. There we have it. I'm going to talk to Hoda tomorrow, and she's going to have some explaining to do tomorrow. Lenny Kravitz looked like somebody had just like so shocked, mortified, stunned. He was silenced. He was horrified. Okay, anyway, enough about that. Enough about Hoda. Today we're going to talk to somebody that I greatly respect. Amy Kennedy, she is running, look at this, she is running for the Congress from her own home state of New Jersey. She also happens to be the mother of 5, and she is married to my cousin Patrick Kennedy, but that's not why I'm interviewing her. I'm not interviewing her because she's married to him. In fact, that would probably make me not want to interview her because I think, oh, well, it's because it's a family thing. I love him. I've interviewed him several times. But I wanted to interview her because I thought it would be so interesting for all of you because she's running for office for the first time. She's a school teacher. She has 5 little kids. And when I heard she wanted to run for the Congress, I was like, what? How's she going to do that? That's such a big deal, and she's doing such a great job. Her husband sent me an article yesterday that said she's winning not because of her husband's family, but in spite of it. I thought that was hysterical. Anyway, I think it's always interesting to hear from people who are running for office, who step in during a pandemic, who step in really divided times and want to make their voices heard. And I'm particularly interested in people who have to parent at the same time, who have little children. I was looking at Amy Barrett when she was testifying for the Supreme Court, and all of her children lined up very quietly listening to her. I thought, like, wow. So as a mother of 4, I often wonder, could I have run for the Congress at the same time as I was rearing those 4 children? Probably not. I don't think I could have done it. So I shout out to her for doing it. And she needs our votes. She needs your votes, and she's running in New Jersey, and she needs people to come out and vote for her. And so I wanted to do my part in lifting up her message. Reader, watcher, thank you for saying that you, just hosted a fundraiser for Amy, somebody said. So there you go. Well, she probably doesn't even need to do this. She's going to win anyway, but I just wanted to do it because I thought it was great. I think she's great, even though she's not here yet. Oh, yeah, there she is. Amy Kennedy for Congress. Well, let's happen. Amy Kennedy for Congress, New Jersey. If you're not in her district, you could still. There she is. Hi, Amy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are we doing?
Oh my gosh, we're doing well. We just today had a really good event. I was in Atlantic City. We live right next to Atlantic City. So it was an event where we got to talk about the need for infrastructure and investment in our area and bringing back the economy here.
So tell everybody like how you're doing. I was explaining before you came on, you have 5 little kids. You're obviously married to my cousin Patrick, but I was saying I wanted to have you on here, not because of that, but because of your own platform, your own work and your own vision. But I think the question a lot of people have, like they would think, oh my God, I have 5 little kids. How am I going to go and do that? And I might have a partner who's got their own thing, who's really busy as you do. What made you think I want to do this?
It was, I think, just you reach a point of frustration with what you're seeing where you don't have a choice but to get involved. And that's what really happened for me. Of course, I was very frustrated with this administration. It's starting way back in, when he took office, and with things that I was seeing with the environment and separation at the border of families. I had a newborn at the time. Marshall was a baby, and I just felt really compelled by what was happening there. And then to see the representative in our district, who was a first term congressman, get elected as a Democrat and switch parties, pledge his undying support to Donald Trump. It was like, forget it. This is too much, and South Jersey deserves better. What we wanted here was somebody who was really going to be fighting for our area that is, highest poverty in the state, highest unemployment, highest overdoses, and really in need of someone who can bring resources and make a difference and get us kind of on a path to recovery. And that's not what he was willing to do.
Amy,
So,
those statistics in your area are really daunting, what you just
yeah,
laid out. You also have the highest infant mortality rate in your
that's right.
area. It feels bleak. It feels bleak. How do you bring hope to an area that has such devastating statistics in front of it?
Yeah, I think that people still look at Atlantic City as a place of unlimited potential, especially if you live here, those of us that are here that see the beauty of this area, that it really just needs someone that is advocating for it, that's really helping to make those connections, to bring new businesses, to make sure that we're building infrastructure for climate resilience. We have a lot of flooding here that needs to be addressed, and making sure that they're fighting to get those federal dollars back in to support the area, because everything that we need to be successful is already in place. We just need, somebody who's going to make sure that it's the top priority.
So how are you going to make sure it's the top priority?
Yeah. For me, what I'm saying is that we absolutely need to build out some diversity in our economy. We've got a real focus right now still on tourism and the casino industry, and it just doesn't work for the rest of this area. The casinos obviously have been hard hit during the pandemic, but they were not doing that great even before that. And so looking for ways to build on some of the universities today, one of the things that we went to was the groundbreaking for another building for Stockton University right in Atlantic City, in Atlantic City campus, which was great. But also things like our airports that could be developed. We need to have they're going to do some offshore wind right outside of this area, and they build a wind port, and looking for other opportunities to just make sure that we're diversifying will bring more year-round, I think, dollars into the area, and not just summertime, which is where we're at right now.
So many people, think about running for office, and then they think, oh my God, it's so mean out there. It's so divided. It's so corrupt. It's so angry.
I agree. It's all
You
those
agree?
things. It is all those things. Yeah.
Well, so how do you keep your equilibrium when it's all those things? Very few people would want to go to work in a company that's all those things.
Yeah.
Very few people would want to put their family into a situation where it's all those things. So how do you keep your balance?
Yeah.
How do you keep your hope alive? How do you keep your sanity when you're in such a divided environment, an angry environment?
Yeah. I think I'm really lucky. I have a really strong family. My mom is really strong, very tough. And my parents live very close by. My brother lives down the street, my other brother as well. And I think even before I got into that, I thought about it a lot, that, it's their opinions that I really internalize, that matter to me, and not so much. I knew what to expect. Of course, having Patrick, having gone through this and hearing some of his stories, puts things into perspective, that I know it's not personal and it's really not about me. It's what's happening throughout this country. And so I can take some of what, the mailers that we get or what we see on the ads and know that these are just broad talking points. And what we're hearing really isn't about me as a candidate or what I might be able to do or help with the district. And I really am hoping to just be kind of somebody that's willing to work. And that's what I want people to know about me. And having my mom and dad just, supporting me makes a big difference.
What's the thing you most want people to know about you?
I think that it's our focus on families. I really care about mental health. We're seeing that today. I opened the newspaper and there was an obituary for a student from my very first class, and he had overdosed. And I taught him for 3 years because I looped 6th, 7th, and 8th grade with that first class. And he is a 30-year-old young man. And we're just seeing so much of that and an increase in the stress and anxiety and depression and addiction in this country. And that we need people who are really looking for evidence-based solutions on making this a priority. And, it's teachers that see this and know that we have to intervene early. So that's my hope, that I can bring a voice to that, to Congress, and that I can help families like ours that are still struggling.
What do you say also? I thought it would be interesting to have you address, the millions of parents who find themselves all of a sudden teachers.
Yeah.
That they didn't train to be a teacher. Maybe they didn't really want to be a teacher. And all of a sudden they're at home trying to teach their kids while also parenting and their version of running for office. They're going to work, right?
Yeah.
What are the 3 kind of best tools that you could give them if they're trying to balance all of this themselves?
Yeah, I taught middle school for 14 years, and my mom and dad are both retired school teachers as well. So the first thing would be find yourself some grandparents that can help out. That would be if you could. But, I think it's really about being easy on yourself, because even in talking to the NJEA president here, she said, Amy, these aren't normal times. So you can't expect everybody to have the normal academic experience. I think the most important thing is that we're supporting the kids emotionally and knowing that we will catch up on the academics, that shouldn't be our top focus. If they get things done, if they're still struggling, that's okay. And we'll make up that time. But the stress or the anxiety that you're putting on yourself, that really gets passed down to the kids. And so we have to go easy on ourselves during this time. I also would say that we've gotten into a real routine here in our house. And of course, there's some things that are rewards at the end of the day. If we get through everything else, I save, whether it's the dessert or the movie time at the end of the night. Nellie was just in here, our 4-year-old, asking me if she could watch a show. And, maybe last year on a school night, we might not have done those things, but this year we go for it.
So what's been the biggest surprise to you about running for office?
For me, it's really been the volunteers. I've seen a huge commitment. You're asking me about running as a mom with 5 kids, but this is solely my focus along with raising my family. I'm seeing a commitment from volunteers who are balancing their families, their full-time jobs, and volunteering unbelievable hours. And the commitment of people this year to make sure that we are changing the direction of this country is just, blowing me away, giving me hope, getting me excited. And I also think that we're going to see really high levels of turnout. We saw that in the primary in New Jersey. It was the highest in our district, highest ever in history turnout. And so I'm hopeful that we're going to see that in the general too.
Yesterday, the day before, we've been seeing long lines, people waiting 8, 9, 10 hours in different states around the country. Are you confident in your area, in the system, in that people will be able to vote, that the votes will be counted accurately, that it's safe, that it's honest?
Yeah. I think the conversation that we're not having, we've heard this president undermine vote by mail. And, I think what we haven't talked as much about is how difficult it is when there's a paper ballot for foreign interference, for the kind of interference that we were worried about just 4 years ago with machine voting. So in New Jersey, it's an all vote by mail election, and people got their ballots and they're voting at their leisure with their ballot, either by mail or at a secure drop box. I heard what happened in California. I could not believe the fake drop boxes and what happened there. But, you know, in New Jersey, they have video cameras at the drop boxes, and I got to cast my vote yesterday. And I know this is going to keep happening. We had lots of people turn out that were newly registered voters. They were excited to vote for the first time. And they can also go the day of, if they want to, and fill out a paper ballot. So there's a lot of options here in New Jersey.
And you feel confident that numbers will be record in numbers, that people have all different options
Yeah.
to vote
Oh,
in all
absolutely.
different ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you feel confident that you've got this.
Well, no,
No?
never. I don't think you ever feel confident, especially this year. Everything's unpredictable, but you know, we're working really hard here, and I feel like we're in a good spot for this week. You know, next week.
Do you not at all, like I was saying, that do you not at all worry, like, okay, if I win this, how am I going to do all this? How am I going?
No, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, I think life's ever changing. I've realized that every year brings a new challenge, whether it's in your career, in your personal life, your family. And so, you know, I don't try to step away from taking that next challenge, because I feel like there will always be something. And so I might as well just pursue the things that interest me, that I'm excited or passionate about, because you know, we've all got a lot to juggle, and this is just another part of that experience.
What's the best piece of advice your husband gave you, who spent many, many years in Congress, running every 2 years? What's the best advice he gave you?
You know, it was he was talking about his debates and, you know, not knowing every answer. He said the answer you need to know is that your heart's in the right place, and that when you have to take a vote in Congress, you're going to make the right vote. You're going to take this vote and you'll make the right decision because your heart's in the right place. You don't have to have every answer. That's what experts are for. You need to talk to them, and you need to make the right vote. So I thought that was helpful. It takes the pressure off. You know, you can't have every answer. So
that's so great. Well, I want to just say that Amy is running for the Congress. If you're in her area, obviously you can vote for her. I love what you said about the volunteers, because all of these campaigns, so many of them are run by volunteers. They're sustained by volunteers. They're pushed forward by volunteers. It's what makes this process so kind of all-American, right? That people are getting out to vote, that they support a candidate. She is a first-time candidate. She is a former school teacher. She is a mother of 5. She is a wife. She is a daughter. She is a child of New Jersey. So
that's right.
This is not somebody just coming in and saying, you know, oh, I want to, you know, run from this state. She grew up there. She has worked there. Her family has worked there. They've been involved in Special Olympics there. In fact, that's how she met my cousin, through volunteering, through Special Olympics. So that's just a note to, if you want to meet somebody, go out and volunteer.
That's it. I agree.
But I think that's great. We need people who have their hearts in the right places, regardless of their party, right? That we want people working on our behalf in every state, who's got their heart in the right place, who knows what it's like to raise families, who knows what it's like.
I have to tell you, Maria, my brother, when he was single, I said the same thing to him. I said, no, you're never going to meet somebody at a bar. You need to go meet people who are like-minded, because they care, they're volunteering. You got to meet somebody who's passionate about something, not just, you know, because you happen to be in the same bar. That doesn't work. And so I took him to an event that was for the hospital, and sure enough, he met his wife.
Oh, there you go. So
first night I took him out.
This is a political candidate who can, like, get jobs, talk infrastructure, and has dating advice. I mean,
That's right.
what more can I give to you on what is it today? Wednesday afternoon. Nothing
That's
more. Well, Amy, I'm so glad that you joined us. Good luck with your campaign. We're all super proud of you. I think it's great that you stepped in. I love your advice that life is full of transitions and not to be afraid of the transitions, that we'll figure it out. That's great life advice. So you had great career advice and love advice and teaching advice.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Good
joining
to
us,
see you. I
Amy,
can't
and
wait to
best
be
of
with
luck.
you. Thank
Okay,
you.
great.
Take care.
Amy Kennedy, that's right, running for the Congress, a first-time congressional candidate in New Jersey. If you're in her area, vote, 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 vote for her. Her heart is in the right place. She'll do you good. And she comes from a great New Jersey family who believes in their community and her state. And it's great. We need people like that whose hearts are in the right place. So God bless her. And thank you all so much for joining us today. I'll be right back here tomorrow with Hoda. And we'll be talking about her new book, which is sure to be a great conversation. She's a great friend who I love dearly. So thank you all so much for joining us. What time is Hoda tomorrow?
It's at 1 p.m. Pacific.
1 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, right back here, 1 p.m. Pacific time. This is my office. So we're doing it from my office, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.